Ultra Instinct seems to be at its peak at the moment, and not even at the hands of the one that we would assume. The battle between Broly vs Jiren has finally reached its climax in this new chapter of Dragon Ball Super Broly vs Jiren, and believe me, this one is brutal. With the Tournament of Power in the books and all of the erased universes restored, peace finds itself prominent throughout the multiverse once again. However, leave it to Goku to shake things up, and this time, certainly not for the better. His training with Broly after the end of Super in this fan manga has gone extremely well for the both of them. Goku has an insanely strong rival that he can also tutor, and Broly is finally learning how to control his obscene amount of power. Their battle has been every bit as astonishing and dramatic as we could have imagined, as Jiren, for the most part, has stood at a clear advantage over his Saiyan rival. Their first encounter resulted in Broly taking a severe amount of damage, causing him to erupt into his full-powered Super Saiyan form. Pleased to see that Goku's promise of a powerful warrior wasn't a lie, Jiren rewards Broly by using his full power as well, reminiscent of the form that he used in the tournament. While this may have put this battle on more of an even playing field, both of these warriors have still yet to take that final ascension in order to seal out this battle that's now become a death match thanks to the Grand Priest. As Broly's rage continues to be the primary source of his insane power gains, Jiren remains calm, cool, and collected, cancelling out another huge attack from his opponent. The battle against Ultra Instinct Goku in the Tournament of Power seemed to be the turning point for Jiren, as all of his life, his pride and desire to be the absolute strongest were what fed his strength. Ever since being humbled that day, however, Jiren realized that he still had much more growing to do, and that wake-up call culminated with his own unbreakable will, or what turned him into the being that we see today. Ultra Instinct Jiren has been born finally after Dragon Ball Super and against Broly of all people. This is Jiren's final trump card and an ability he's been perfecting ever since the end of the tournament. Within an instant, Broly is held at bay by these divine powers, making it near impossible to even land a hit on Jiren now. As Broly attempts to attack him once more, Jiren, using the unbelievable power of Ultra Instinct, pretty much phases behind Broly, and upon clenching his fist, releases the massive amount of damage he did to him in the blink of an eye, crippling Broly's body. Jiren stands firm in his stance that while Broly is powerful, there's still much he lacks, and above all else, he says, "You will never triumph over me." These words, coupled with the agonizing thoughts of losing everything, send Broly flying into an absolute spiral of rage. Jiren looks on pretty unimpressed still, but Broly has been pushed to the brink like never before in a battle against Ultra Instinct. As his transformation completes, Broly ascends to a level that even we submits may give the gods some trouble. Broly has now unleashed his true full power and shattered all previous barriers, revealing a form known as the legendary Full Power Super Saiyan 3. The climax of this battle has finally arrived, and if you guys have been enjoying this fan manga, Dragon Ball Super Broly vs Jiren, the link to the author Monty's Twitter will be down below, so be sure to go give him a follow and let him know how talented he is and to keep up the great work. Be sure to have those notifications turned on to never miss an upload, because Dragon Ball Super Chapter 66 is dropping this week. And if you guys have been enjoying all of the content recently, consider leaving a like on this video as well. It really helps out with getting the videos out there. Don't forget to follow on both Twitch and Twitter to stay up with me and all anime related content. But without further ado, this ungodly amount of power that Broly has now broken through with would be enough to even overwhelm the gods to a point, as Whis agrees. However, Jiren hasn't moved a muscle ever since witnessing this form. As Broly charges at Jiren again, he reels back with an explosive punch ready to be launched. This is when Jiren finally opens his eyes again, and with the power of Ultra Instinct behind him, he once again clashes fists with a new powered up Broly, and the result is stunning. Again, due to the devastating pressure of all of their power, Broly and Jiren completely shatter the dimensional barrier separating realms and disappear once again. "These guys are insane," Goku comments. "It's just like when me and Vegeta did the fusion dance against Broly." Breaking through different dimensions is proof that mortals can achieve levels that rival the Hakaishin, Whis says, agreeing. This is certainly getting more and more interesting. Although we understand the stakes at hand and the level of power we're witnessing, Chile doesn't really get what's happening, but all she can do is pray that Broly comes out on top. The two Zenos seem to be enjoying the battle again as well, feigning to be closer to the fight again. This is magnificent, the Grand Priest thinks to himself. These mortals. Yes, my lord, he says, snapping out of it as Zeno wishes for a better view. Just a second. The Grand Priest extends his arms out to the sides, and all of a sudden, the spectators begin to transport away again. When he raises his arms, they all vanish as they teleport for a better but still safe view of the battle. Back on the battlefield, Broly and Jiren are colliding with strength beyond the gods and looking pretty evenly matched for the time being as well. Jiren dodges an onslaught of Broly's punches, ducking under him for a counterattack again, and this is when he's able to hit him with another double fist strike, the technique that shattered his internal organs before. As his attack makes contact, Broly's head drops, however, something is different this time. He begins to raise his head as Jiren notices his attack did negligible damage this time, but before he can escape, Broly grabs him by the shoulders. He swings his head back and delivers a powerful headbutt to Jiren, sending more cracks throughout the dimension again. As Jiren is sent flying, Broly's rage continues to climb as he roars while creating a giant energy blast from the center of his body. Jiren halts himself as Broly readies his attack, and then he launches a massive energy sphere with the full power of his Saiyan might. Jiren stands before this attack looking to take it head on again as he shuts his eyes, and then they rip open, revealing that same icy glare. As the attack nears, Broly is stunned to see his blast grow smaller and smaller until, upon reaching Jiren, he easily deflects it with the back of his hand, sending it ricocheting back to Broly. In the blink of an eye, Broly's attack is hurled back at him in a much more concentrated form, causing an explosion on impact that lights up this entire side of the galaxy. As the spectators near the new battlefield again, as they fly, something seems to be increasingly stressing Goku. Something bothering you? Whis asks him, noticing this as well. He's disappointed in himself, Velmont comments. He realized that these two have surpassed what he's capable of without using Ultra Instinct. I'm not so sure about that, Whis says. Knowing Son Goku, this just may be the motivation he needs to ascend higher than Mastered Ultra Instinct, but what could possibly be higher than mastering Ultra Instinct? I wonder, he goes on. Super Saiyan? Don't be so silly, Whis, Beerus cuts in. Ultra Instinct is a level that seemingly even gods can't achieve, but these mortals can? What could possibly be higher than this, he says. Goku, with all of these conversations going in one ear and out the other, only has one concern on his mind right now though, and that's Broly. I've got a bad feeling about this, he says to himself as they continue to travel, but his presumptions may be far worse than he realizes as the Grand Priest announces that they finally arrived. As their high-speed travel comes to a stop, Goku is shocked to see the result of such a high-level battle with nearly everything in this vacuum of space having been completely destroyed. Sensing their power levels, Goku whips his head around to see a blinding light in the distance as Jiren charges at Broly once again as the battle rages on. On the opposite side, Goku notices another blinding light, this one being Broly, who looks far different than he ever did in their battle, continuing to improve throughout this battle. Broly's power and speed all of a sudden take everyone by surprise as both Jiren and Goku are shocked as he appears right in front of Jiren's face. Jiren attempts to counter with a punch of his own, but Broly obliterates him with a single hit. Jiren is sent soaring across space, and in the process, Broly's insane strength seems to have knocked him into his base form as well. Jiren, Velmont shouts, as even Margarita is stunned to see him like this. Beerus isn't so certain though, as he says that Broly may have knocked him out of Ultra Instinct, but that doesn't mean anything until this battle is over. Broly's amazing, Zeno says, as the other agrees, commenting about how Jiren was knocked out as well. Well, the Grand Priest says, this match seems to have many surprises. I can't quite call it yet, my lord, he says, as we cut back to Jiren laying silently on the ground. This Saiyan, Jiren says to himself. Why is he so different from the others? How is he able to adapt and gain so much power? Jiren attempts to get back up, but this is when Broly starts to prepare yet another attack, but this one is unbelievable. Broly's energy sphere grows to the size of a planet over his head as Goku says, holy, is he really about to launch that? Broly hurdles this planet-sized attack at Jiren, who still sits on the ground below, causing Velmont to yell, commanding him to get up. Even Chile freaks out, telling Broly he'll destroy them all with something like that. It can't be helped, Whis says. Broly can't show mercy anymore, even if he desires. His body is fighting like a machine, using all of the muscle memory acquired from Jiren. Broly's body has taken over and his mind can't control the beast he's become. Jiren lays with his eyes still closed as he says to himself, all this blind rage, this power, my power, is absolute, he roars as his eyes rip open once again with him standing in the face of Broly's attack. In an instant, an attack that could devastate the entire universe is reduced to nothing by Jiren with some mysterious new power. As we cut back to Jiren, his entire demeanor has changed as his power has reached a level freezing Broly to his core. Jiren has completely transformed to a level only achievable beyond Ultra Instinct as Broly panics. Jiren's glare has become as cold as stone as he locks onto Broly from being completely awoken by his own pride and willpower to be the strongest. This is Jiren ascended past Ultra Instinct.